Well, hi everybody, Owen here, and I just wanted to welcome on board with today's video our first live group coordinator, Edie Fight.
Hi, everybody.
Now, as I introduce Edie, I had a few questions for her. You might recognize these questions since I seem to be asking everyone these questions lately. So, Edie, are you married?
I am. I've been married for 43 years.
And if you have kids, what are their ages?
My oldest son is 37. My younger son is 32.
Very cool. And then, just to round it off, these are the same questions everybody else has been answering too. Um, what are your hobbies and interests?
Reading has always been my passion, always will be. I also like to travel and learn about places, other places where I'm not. And recently I've started quilting.
Very cool. It's good to have somebody who knows how to quilt. I can't have a good conversation about that. Now, I've talked a little bit about the live group coordinator position, and I've always been sitting on kind of the three C's. Live group coordinator is somebody who is a coach, someone who is a caregiver, and someone who is a consultant, someone who's there to be your biggest cheerleader. And each live group coordinator will be caring for and looking after and coaching and all that stuff about 5 live group leaders for per coordinator. And so Edie will be caring for about 5. Now, one of the things I haven't said much about is that one of my qualifications for someone to be a live group coordinator is that they're familiar with the Sticky Church model for small groups that our church uses. We call it live groups, but it comes from a church that calls it Sticky Church. And so that being said, one thing you might not know about Edie is that she's very familiar with this model. She's read the book a few different times. Maybe you've seen it. I don't know if I can hold it up this close, but if you see Sticky Church, that would be the model. So Edie, tell me a little bit. What is one of the strengths of the Sticky Church model as you come to become familiar with it?
Um, I think the thing that's hit me more than once is how the live groups, I never looked at them this way before, but it's a way for people to connect with the church. I used to think it was a way for people to connect with other people, but it's really an avenue to be connected to your church. And by being a member of a live group, you build your relationships, and it also builds your relationship to your church. And so it brings people closer to church and the mission of the church.
Makes sense. One of the things we've been talking about from the very beginning is, every church has a back door. People who come to the church, they don't stick, and they kind of drift away, fall through the cracks, don't come back. And one of the big things that Sticky Church is designed to do, and our live groups are designed to do, are to keep people attached to the church, to kind of close the back door, so to speak. So, very cool. One more question for you, Edie, and then I have one more detail to share after that. Edie, tell me a little bit, what excites you about being a live group coordinator, about being kind of the #1 fan for 5 live group leaders? Like, why do this?
Well, I've I've really grown to love my live group. I've been a part of a really successful live group for a long time. Um, it's been such a wonderful experience for me that I'd love everybody to have that same kind of an experience. So it's exciting to me that I can think that I can come alongside and encourage and support someone who's willing to step forward and be a leader for these groups. And I can help them become successful.
Very cool. Very cool. So, Edie Fight, I'll be contacting a few leaders shortly to kind of say, hey, would you be interested in meeting Edie? Would you want to grab a coffee with her? And then let me know if you'd like Edie to be your live group coordinator, someone who will be your #1 fan. So, if you may be getting a phone call from me about that in the next week. But in the meanwhile, I wanted to address just one more issue before we hang up the phone today here. The first is that, well, the issue is this. Our live groups start this week. And so the first week, especially after a summer off, is an important week. And so for that reason, we just have 2 goals for live groups for the first week. And the first goal is to just be relational. And relational just means spending time getting to know people. As you look at the questions, which are going to be in the bulletin on Sunday, they're also attached to this email, you'll see that the questions are entirely get-to-know-you questions. That is all that they are. And it's not to be shallow. It's actually to give a chance for people who don't know everybody else yet, or if it's a brand new group, give them a chance to get to know each other and to form that foundation that will let people share later. And then the second goal for this week is to get the group on the same page. I was just reading an article this morning actually on the 3 things that will kill live groups or any small group. And the number 1 thing on the list was to have groups that don't understand their purpose. And so for that reason, Edie had the great idea actually about a month ago to put together a page called What is a Live Group? And so this is something that we've been working on together. You'll see this attached to the email, and I'm going to have hard copies for you on Sunday. And what this page is, it's a very brief explanation, just 1 page of why do we have live groups? What does a live group do? What are some healthy things that a live group should, keep in mind? Things like confidentiality, attendance, things like that. And then finally, just some fill in the blank questions about just some of the logistics. Is your live group going to have refreshments? What about childcare, or will there even be childcare? What does that look like? And so it's a good chance. The purpose of the page is to have a tool for you during your first week to print it out, give it to everyone in your group, and then spend a few minutes talking about it. Give them a chance to ask questions and answer questions, and then as a group to kind of fill in those blanks on the logistics so that everybody's on the same page about what a live group does and what it's about. And so that's what this first week will be. It'll be expressly spend half the time getting to know each other and the other half just talking about what the group is about. We'll have 8 other weeks that we'll be covering more in-depth Bible discussion, but just for the first week, this is what I'd like us to do. And so if you have any questions about that, feel free to let me know. If you like it, give all the credit to Edie. She did a great job putting this page together. I really appreciate that. And on that note, you guys have a great week. Thanks for reading all my messages and emails this week, and we'll be in touch next week too.